Just wanted to show you can get some cards from the shopkeepers if you buy enough. And speaking of buying enough, I changed my deck. Again. This time for the better. The main thing that I added was... Well, you can see what I added with all the special exclamation marks, but I did add the Thunder Dragon, and you're gonna see why in the duel that's gonna follow. And I got a couple of really good trap cards out of buying the crap out of packs. And this next event, all you have to do is just, right after the chest duel, go to Bastion. Now, from what I've seen, sometimes he'll give you the choice, sometimes he won't, but I've always seen him use his Aqua deck. I don't think I've ever seen him not use his Aqua deck. Kinda mean. But in the series, Bastion had two main things going for him. He had a special ritual monster, which guess what? You can't use. But he also had an Aqua deck featuring Water Dragon, which uses basic chemistry to make a really strong card. That card, namely being, well, I already said the card's name. The two cards that you have to use to make it are Hydrogeddon and Oxygeddon. Wow, that is such a... Those are such bad puns. And Hydrogeddon has an effect where if you... I'm not sure exactly what the effect is, but sometimes it's able to summon a copy of it from the deck. Now here is my favorite strategy ever to use with a fusion deck. You have Thunder Dragon. Its effect is amazing if you have its fusion, because all you need is polymerization and one copy of the card, and you can instantly summon a monster with 2,800 attack points. This is very useful, and I used this strategy for almost the entire game until I changed my deck from a fusion deck. And in case you haven't noticed, fusing, very good idea at this part of the game. You still have a few, well, you get a few pretty good fusions in the beginning, so it makes sense. And then you get the elemental heroes not too far into the game. And that's when this game goes awry. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I love this game, but there are some things it just does horribly wrong. The second thing you'll see it does horribly wrong is coming up pretty soon, actually. Oh yeah, and I make the biggest mistake of all time. Watch this. Did you notice that I didn't pick the set card? And here I'm just going, crap, because I just lost Thunder Dragon. But I still win, don't get me wrong. So as I was saying about this game, and I love this card combination he comes out with, like, really? 2 Oxygeddons? Come on, man! So, other than my bad luck in this duel, well, my own fault, but you get my point. You get a good variety of cards for a very long time, but if there's one thing Duel Academy did right, it's allowing you to get cards. It's allowing you to access every card pretty much up until the end of the game. This game, oh heck no. Every single duelist can still top deck you, especially when you get later on. You won't be able to access a lot of themes for a while. And most importantly, you unlock 4 packs, all of them containing really good cards, in the after game, whenever you gain enough levels. That alone just frustrates me, because you are forced into using cards while your opponent has other cards that are usually much better than yours, until the after game, where it doesn't matter anymore. Are you seeing why this is cause for concern? And then the level up system. This is where the level up system goes awry. The problem with the level up system is that it focuses too much on dueling. That was a problem that Duel Academy had too, was to get... Well, that's a problem all the games have. Who am I kidding? All the Yu-Gi-Oh games, I mean. The only way to get money, to get more packs, to get better cards, is to duel. Problem: you duel to get the money. Therefore, you're tiring yourself out on dueling, and then by the time you get the good cards, you don't feel like dueling anymore. You just feel like ending it. You could work around this a little bit more in Duel Academy with the whole Fontaine thing, but it's still not very fun. I mean, no one wants to duel that much. And so, like I said, you have to get the last 4 packs of the game by leveling up, but again, you probably fight the people so much in between trying to get all those level ups that you don't feel like fighting them anymore once you get the good cards. And here is where I fully support cheating. You can't use the cheating quite as well because for some reason the instant level up cheat in this game makes it so that you instantly level up and there's no way to stop it. You just go up to the max, which is 99 in this game. So, saddening there. One thing that this game does, one thing that cheat doesn't do perfectly well. But again, by the time you're at the by the time you're in the after game, leveling up doesn't matter anymore unless you want to unlock more cards. Oh yeah, there's been a duel going on. Let me see. I make a mistake. I get extremely lucky and fight back. Oh yeah, and I also summon my spirit monster. But the problem is this game's system with the spirits. As you can tell, this video is about 17 minutes long. There's only 2 duels in here. This duel, I can understand it lasting a while because I got unlucky and I had to re-strategize. The level ups, the spirit system in this game is horrid. Absolutely horrid. There was a lot of stuff that you could do in the previous game, Duel Academy, like when you go to somebody, you don't have to duel them. You can choose to just not duel them if you press them by accident. This game you have to duel, and you don't know who you're dueling. And there's the whole registration crap I've already gone through. It's just very distasteful. And then when you get the spirit, get this, it doesn't equip your first spirit. You have to equip the spirit for you to start earning experience. How do you get experience? By summoning it. How do you summon it? Get lucky and hope you get it. It can be a little bit easier with some cards, like Jerry Beans Man, I could probably get with Reinforcement of the Army. And there's other stuff you can do to level up your spirit, and you would see me get some experience here, but I didn't have him equipped then, now did I? Oh, something else, pause on the spirit thing. Something else that Duel Academy did right was its system with money. In this game, you get a lot of money in a longer period of time, while in Duel Academy, you couldn't exactly get money very quickly. You just had to duel. And, you got good, like 300, 400 money, but there wasn't always an easy way to get money until later with Fontaine. Now, in case you're wondering, this is an example of a duel against a dual spirit. Now, how these work is beyond me, and I don't think I've seen a single spirit guide or anything that fully explains how the heck these things work. It's almost like in Battle Network 2 with the bug frags. I've never figured it out either. Everyone says that when you're dueling these guys, it's random whether or not you can obtain them. I'm pretty sure you have to win the duel to make sure these things to have a higher chance of these guys coming with you. And these these guys are weird when it comes to finding them. There's a spirit later on that, get this, helps you find spirits. And I think just other special duels in general. But for now, we're stuck with Jerry Beansman, and now it's time for my talk about abilities. Spirit abilities are cool. I like them. I like that idea. If the system were better, I'd like it a whole lot more. But the system's not better, so I'm not a fan of it. Finding these spirits is a pain in itself, because you gotta know where they are, you have to get them at nighttime, and they appear... you are more likely to encounter a spirit if you... I can't speak today. You are more likely to encounter a spirit if you duel somebody during that day. That's all the stuff I found. And yeah, leveling up the spirits, I don't mind that much. It makes sense. But it's still a bit mean that you have to use them just to get more copies of the card. You can't buy more copies that I know of. And you can't get the spirit cards unless you get the spirits, and some of them you don't get until after the game. Meaning you're stuck seeing other people use spirit cards while you're completely helpless in using them yourself. Now, as for this spirit, it has a very overused theme in this game. For some reason, the people that made this game thought it would be a good idea to have three people using the same deck idea. Adhesive Explosive Spirit Duel is one of them. Now, I like the card Adhesive Explosive. Only problem is that it's definitely outclassed by its cousin Blastsphere, which not only has the exact same effect, it also is much better because when something attacks Adhesive Explosive's effect is that if something attacks it face down, it equips to that card and no battle damage ensues. That card can't change its position, nor its nor can it attack again. Of course, it won't matter because the next time the opponent draws, that card is destroyed. What Blastsphere does is it goes one step further, and whenever the card's destroyed, the attack of that card is taken out of the opponent's select points, which is really good because usually when you're sending a monster face down, it's against something that you know you wouldn't be able to beat. Not to mention, Blastsphere, I can't say Blastsphere looks cooler. They both look pretty cool in my opinion, but out of all the between the two, I can't really say that either one of them looks better. Where the heck was I going with that sentence? That made no sense. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, Helios Duo Magistus. Normally not supposed to see this guy until one special duel way later on in the game. But, oh, girl, whatever the heck you want to call it. I like the idea of the cards. Only problem that I have with the idea of the cards is that they're pretty useless unless you have a deck set up like this, but of course you probably thought ahead already. And in the series, they looked a lot better because usually what the opponent does is it has some card like Macrocosmos or anything of that sort, where every card is removed from play instead of sent to the graveyard whenever it goes there. The problem with that is that Helios, the Primordial Sun, and its stronger forms Helio Duo Magistus and Helio Trismegistus, their main thing is that if they get sent to the graveyard, they get sent to the graveyard. All you have to do, it then they're special summoned with even more attack. The problem is, since the opponent usually has, like, say, Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos out to make every monster be removed from play and into the graveyard, you can't use those effects. But to get the most attack, you have to use the attack for those cards. You have to use those cards to strengthen them, because their attack is dependent on how many monsters are removed from play on both sides, I think. There are some cards that allow you to special summon from the remove from place, or as it's called now, the banished side. But they usually come at a high cost. Like getting Elemental Hero Electrum is not very easy, because you have to fuse 4 monsters for Pete's sake. And yes, in case you didn't notice, I was trying to crunch some numbers to see, am I going to be able to beat this guy if I special summon a monster? Nah, I won't. I thought he'd have like 2800. He comes up with 1000. I was just shaking my head. And now to beat him. And here I was really hoping that I would get Adhesive Explosive, but alas no. And thus begins the constant struggle to see, will Adhesive Explosive come with me this time or not? Because I've fought spirits before, like dozens and dozens of times before they've accepted. It seems that it's more probable to get them if you have a close duel, or if you have a quick duel. Again, that's just me though, who knows.